Hi, welcome to All Games New and Old. I'm David Rodriguez.
And I'm Hillary Rodriguez.
And this episode we're continuing our top 50 games of all time, doing numbers 30 through 21. We're getting right into the middle here. We're in the middle of all the fantasticness.
Yep.
But I guess the ones is really, truly where all the fantasticness is.
Yeah.
I don't know. Interesting.
Middle ground.
Yeah, we're in the middle. But these aren't average games. No. These are still fantastic. All the 50 on all our lists are fantastic. You cannot go wrong with us. Or something. Alright. So, number 30. My number 30 has been previously on your list, and that is World's Fair 1893. I got this game when I suddenly got this urge to buy games that were not in my typical type of genre. I think about this and Sagrada at the same time. And it's just, you're trying to put out or create events and whatnot for the World's Fair of 1893. You have a cool Ferris wheel thing that'll have like the cubes and stuff you need to get, which is really awesome. You have fair tickets that you're doing. You're trying to you might be trying to make agriculture events or technology events or all kinds of things like that. It's just a really cool game. And as a funny story, when I was trying to learn it, because I was trying to learn a few games at once, I think probably with Sagrada at the same time, because I'm usually the one that learns them and teaches them, I had a dream where I was teaching the game. And when I woke up, I was very pleased to know that I had taught it correctly in the dream. It got into my head. But it's fantastic. I will state again, as I did when she brought it up, that there is an exclusive version that I believe it's exclusive on Amazon that I think the gameplay is all the same, but they've incorporated some of the important African-American people that were involved in the World's Fair, so they're in that box, which is cool. I wish I had that one. I also wish they'd come up with an expansion that had H.H. Holmes, because he did all his stuff during the World Fair. How that would work, I don't know. Maybe you can murder the other person's something. I don't know. I don't have a good plan for that, or I don't know how to make it make sense. I just want it. So anyway, that's maybe if we had it, I might be a little closer to number one. I'm just saying. I don't know. You don't know. So that is my number 30, World's Fair 1893.
My number 30 is Wonder Woman. You're playing as some of the different Amazons. You can be Wonder Woman. You can be I think there's 5 different Amazons to choose from. Each one has a little bit different abilities, different disadvantages, and then you have some of Wonder Woman's villains. I think the main one we played against was Ares.
Yeah.
And so you're in Themyscira and you're trying to block the bad guys from taking over Themyscira. So, and it has nice, decent models to it.
Definitely. And it's cool that, I could see where they'd be tempted to just make Wonder Woman the obvious best choice, and I don't think she necessarily is. I think they're all the characters are cool in that game. Okay, my number 29 is Tiny Epic Galaxies. That might be...
That's also my 29.
What? Show's over for us. We don't need to go any further than this. Second. Okay, well, we can both talk about it.
Yeah.
I think this might be the first Tiny Epic game we got.
It is. Yeah, that was going to be my note.
And you're just trying to build up your... I don't know, you're not really trying to build your... Yeah, I guess you're trying to build up your empire. I don't know. It's a little weird. You're going out and you're exploring planets and whatnot. What I really like in that is the ability to follow your opponent. So if I do something, it opens up the ability for you to do something.
Yeah.
But I don't know, what are your thoughts on it too?
Yeah, no, my note was going to be that was our first Tiny Epic game that we got, and it's just, it's still my favorite one out of all the Tiny Epic games. I really like the components. I think it's just fun. It's fun how you can either play it very aggressively or very defensively and still do well either way. And it's kind of, even though you're playing against each other, you can be a little backstabby of haha, I know you need that, so I'm going to go there instead. But there's not too much of that, and it's pretty easy to kind of work around that too, even if you are playing with someone that's trying to kind of do that too. Because they can only do that so much and not do well themselves. So
yeah. I think, and I don't know because I don't have any kind of information from them, I think this might be their most popular one because they've come out with, I think it's even tinier Epic Galaxies, which is just the same game, but if you want it even smaller. I don't know why you would ever need it to be smaller, but if you do, that's out there.
It's safe for babies to swallow?
Yeah, and I think they have like Tiny Epic Galaxies Blast Off or something, which is like a version that you can play with a younger audience, like more of a kids version too, which I've not played either. I might look into the kids one at some point. That might be cool.
Yeah.
But I don't need the game to be smaller. Good God, are you kidding me? Make a bigger one or something with like miniatures. That'd be cool. Anyway, great game, Tiny Epic Galaxies. Both of our number 29. I was wondering if we were gonna have any, especially like this far out from like.
Yeah.
I could. I think in the top we're gonna.
In the top 10, we'll probably have a couple.
Yeah, but that's kind of neat. Excuse me. My 28 is Spirit Island. This is a cooperative game that you are spirits that the indigenous people on this island worship or follow, and you're trying to stop invaders basically from coming in and conquering the land. And they're actively trying to build buildings, and that creates all kinds of problems. And a good way that you're doing is you're trying to terrify them to the point that they will run off. And what's neat is there's a lot of different spirits to play, and each one has like slow actions they can do and fast actions, and there's really a lot of complexity in the actions that you can do. So I think it makes it very hard for anyone to be like the alpha gamer and you know, telling everyone what they need to be doing and figuring out how to, you know, take your spirits and work best together so that you're maximizing your actions is a really cool challenge. I think it's a fairly tough game, and it's thinkier than a lot of other co-ops that we have, but it's great, and I think the theme is brilliant. I absolutely love it. So that is my 28, Spirit Island.
My number 28 is Elder Signs. It's another Arkham game.
So many of those.
So many. It's another Arkham game that's slowed down, or it's a smaller Arkham game, so it's easier to play. We have some friends that they really like co-op games. They like the theme okay, but like they don't. The wife especially doesn't want to sit down and play the same game for 4 hours. We'll have a game night and play for 5-6 hours, but she wants to play different games. So it's a good game for people like that you know, like a co-op game, like you know, Cthulhu Mythos stuff, but doesn't want to play a super long game.
Absolutely. Now, would you say that is very similar to or exactly like Batman the Animated Series, Gotham City Under Siege?
I would not.
If you'd like to catch that inside joke, please watch our review on Batman the Animated Series, Gotham City Under Siege, and then you can laugh retroactively. That's my tip to you. Excuse me, sorry. Okay, my number 27 is Defenders of the Realm. This is a co-op game that reminds me a lot of Pandemic, with a fantasy theme on it, but it has some more complexity going for it. You have like these warlords of like there's like orcs and a demon and undead and a dragon one,
yeah,
I think, and they're all kind of closing in, and you have to keep them from getting to your city. In a lot of other ways it plays like Pandemic, each of your various characters has different powers via movement or attack or what have you. The bad guys are spreading a taint across the land, which is not good. Gosh, I think it may be why Pandemic has fallen further down the list, because if I have the time to play it, it is a longer game. I think I'd rather play Defenders of the Realm.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, it's just cooler. Lots of neat stuff going on.
A little more in depth.
Yeah, and I totally get the fantasy feel. You do have to roll to get things accomplished sometimes, which some folks may not like. But I like it because I don't know, it feels like I'm playing like big, like top-down looking D&D in a way. So, really great game. Just my 27 is Defenders of the Realm.
My number 27 is another kids game. might be my last kids game on my list. I don't remember now. But it's Dinos Not Assembled. It's a really fun, pretty quick game where you're running a museum. You're all curators of a museum, and you each have your own dino exhibit that you're trying to collect the different dino parts to be able to assemble actual dinosaurs that existed. And then they have some really neat little meeples to place in your exhibit hall when you are able to actually assemble it. It's another game where our 11-year-old, she really enjoys the game a lot, and our 5 now 6-year-old also really enjoys the game. She needs a little bit of help just with the strategy of it, but she, I can kind of just be like, okay, well, you can do this or this, and and she gets it. So she just needs a little bit of guidance to be able to catch up on some of the strategy that goes into it.
Yeah, that's a perfect example of a kids game that is still good for adults. Like, I wouldn't be against the idea of playing that with adults. I mean, as a filler, obviously, it's very light and easy. But yeah, you got to think about some stuff. It's not it's not without choices. It's a good one. My number 26 is Cowboy Bebop Space Serenade. If you're familiar with the anime, then you know that it is awesome. And this is heavily based on this anime. And you will pick one of the 4 characters, and you start off with your own deck that's a little bit specific to that character, and you have certain abilities based on your character. You'll have like a main ability and like a secondary ability, I believe. And then if you're in the same space with someone else, I think you can use their... I forget if it's their main or secondary ability.
There's secondary.
Secondary, yeah. So that's kind of neat because you can utilize their stuff. But what's neat is like all the cards are sort of themed to one of the characters, and anybody can pick those cards. But I do think that there's some really neat ways that they've tied those cards into the characters. Yeah. Like, I was playing as Jet, and like I just kept, because of the pilot guy, I kept like picking her up and taking her like to places that she didn't necessarily want to go. But I don't know, it was hilarious. It's a fun game. It's one of the few that that I feel like I've even with her a bit more. like I might win that one. I might. Whereas usually not as much, but that one I feel a little more even. It's a good one for me. I like it a lot. I love the theme, and it makes me want to watch the anime and get excited about the live action show, which please be good. Please be good. Please. I'm begging you. Anyway, that is my number 26, Cowboy Bebop Space Serenade.
All right. My number 26 is also space cowboy-ish themed. Oh. Mine is Firefly the game. We love Firefly. Liked it from the beginning. Sad that it got so messed up. I'm actually wearing a Firefly shirt today.
Hey, there you go.
It's a lot of fun. You're basically you have different ships. I don't think they're all Fireflies that you're playing as.
I don't recall.
I don't remember. I don't remember. But you basically have different characters that you're playing as, and you have to go do different missions, collect missions, try and avoid the I forgot what they're...
Reavers? Or the...
You have to avoid the Reavers, but you also have to avoid the good guys too.
I like the police. Okay, yeah, they're not the police. I don't know what they're called. Those guys. Yep, you know.
I want to say Empire, and that's totally not right. Wrong sci-fi.
I think it's the Sith. You're trying... Oh, no, it's the Klingons. I'm sorry, it's one of the... Daleks? I don't know. Well, I know. Bad guys. Good guys.
And so there's a lot of movement around because you have to travel around, and so like you can go a more straight route, but you're more likely to get caught, or you can go a more roundabout route, but it's going to take you longer. So there's a lot of moving parts, but it's a lot of fun, and they included a bunch of characters from the show. Yeah,
I'm actually sorry. I didn't think you liked this game that much. Or as much.
Yeah.
So, but that's great. I really like it too. It definitely feels like you're playing the show, for sure. And what's cool is if you play the game like 4 times, it's lasted as long as the show has. So, there's that. It's not short. It's a great game. Yeah, I know. It makes me so sad.
That's another show they're doing a reboot, so hopefully...
Oh, God. I'm so nervous about
know.
that. I hope it's great. I'm going to be cautiously optimistic about it. But either way, game, very cool. It does feel like you're playing the show. My number 25 has been on your list. It is The Godfather, Corleone's Empire. It's by one of my favorite designers, Eric Lang. So far, he has not done wrong in my book. I have not tried everything he's played because he's made a lot of things. But I'm not... Okay, I'm going to confess something. Don't get angry. I have not seen any Godfather movie. I'm interested in seeing them. I just haven't sat down and done it. But I like the whole mafia theme. You don't have to have seen the movie to play this. I love going down and like shaking down businesses and, you know, throwing your enemies in the harbor. And there's like this cool little like metal briefcase things that you're trying to hide what you've acquired in there. Really cool, neat game. Yeah, I mean, Eric Lang is he knows what he's doing. And I don't know if this one got as much praise as some of his other bigger games have gotten, because I know I got it super discounted. But if you can get it, jump on it. Like, there's no reason to not get this. Game. Yeah, it's super good. So that's my number 25, The Godfather, Corleone's Empire.
My number 25 is more of a party game. It's Codenames Pictures. There's a lot of different codename versions out there, so you could kind of put any of the codenames in the spot. I really like the Pictures one because of my dyslexia. Like, it's a lot easier for me to point out things I see on the image and trying to do that versus trying to read the words and maybe giving wrong clues. And then it's also fun to see what other people see in the picture, because they'll be explaining. You know, we've played, I think, with 6 or 8 people at one point with 2 teams. And, like, the person giving the clues, like, they thought they knew exactly what, like, everybody would get. And the team was guessing all sorts of different things. And they were completely lost. And it was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is a great game for sure. My number 24 is Unmatched Battle Legends Volume 1. I'm specifying that one because that's the one that I have played. They have several sets out. I only have one. I have one that has Red Riding Hood and Beowulf, but I haven't played it yet, so I don't want to comment on that, but I'm pretty darn sure it's good. The gameplay stays the same from set to set. It's just what your character can do. Really very simple miniatures combat game where you're on a board, but man, it is so well done. Like, line of sight's very easy. It's just this person on the same color as you. Cool. You can see them. The characters are all very different. The art is, I mean, stunning. There's like one of the cards in the Alice deck that, like, I would happily hang a poster of that up, and the other ones all have fantastic art as well. It's a really unique style. They have, you know, the ones I mentioned. There's a Buffy the Vampire set. There's Cobble and Fog, which has like the Invisible Man and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and some others. I think they have a Jurassic Park set. They're coming out with some Marvel ones. There's like a Deadpool one already out, and they're doing some other stuff. Kind of like the Funkoverse thing. I feel like it's getting to the point where it's like, if you're a fan of something, they're probably going to get to it eventually. But really cool, really simple game. So that is my 24, Unmatched Battle of Legends.
My number 24 is another game that we have reviewed, and that's the Praga Kapoor Ragni. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Praga Kapoor Ragni.
Yes, there we go.
Yep, that one.
It's a fun game, and I love the mechanics of the game. And like, when the first couple times we played it, I wasn't sure about it, but like the more we played it, the more I'm like, no, I want to play again. I want to play again. And so it's just it's just a fun game. And watch our review to find out more.
Yeah, this game made me want to buy more like full-on Euro games. It partially converted me. I'm not leaving behind my Ameritrash roots, but yeah, good one. Okay, my number 23 is Disney Villainous. This is a game where like the base rules are all the same, but depending on the villain you pick, you're going to be doing real different things. Like your victory condition.
Yeah, it plays so differently depending on the villain. So like, if you play it and you get a villain that where you don't like the game, try a different villain, because it can really make a huge difference in the game.
Yeah, and it's awesome because in addition to your villain cards, which are doing what you want, you also have like a hero deck that your opponent, you can play things from your hero deck onto you, so you're dealing with whoever the hero is of that story getting in your way, and they can really mess with your plans. And like you were saying, find the villain that works for you. Like when this game came out, I'm in several board game groups on Facebook, and people will be like, "Oh, this villain is way too overpowered." And then a few days later, I'd see someone saying about that same villain, "Oh, this villain can't win. They're terrible." And it's really because they all play so differently that you need to find the ones that click with you. Mm-hmm. There's going to be ones that I would be awful with that maybe she's awesome with, or whatever. People say, "Oh, it's so unbalanced." Like, I don't think it really is. It's just that you can't go and with a blanket statement be like, "I am good with all these characters." Like, probably you're not. You're probably going to find certain ones that you're awesome with and some that you aren't. It's got a lot of sets. I'm just covering Villainous as a whole. Any one of the sets are standalones, but the base set has more characters than the other ones do.
And you can mix and match.
And you can mix and match. Too. So, pretty awesome. That is my number 23, Disney Villainous.
Right. My number 23 is the Down of Pompeii. We played this game with some friends quite a few years ago, and it was such a fun game, but it was out of print at the time, and so we were really upset because we couldn't get it. It has come back into print. I don't think we've gotten it yet, though.
No, we got it.
Okay, we did. Yeah. And then just recently we saw someone do a little recommendation of getting one of those battery-operated tea lights and putting it in the volcano. And I think that's sounds like a lot of fun.
I want to go get a tea light and do that so bad.
I have some somewhere.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, and so basically the game plays in two different phases. You have one phase where you're basically playing as the citizens of Pompeii, and you're trying to get into the buildings and kind of have the most control of the buildings. And then as the volcano is erupting, you're trying to escape the city without being caught by the lava. And it's a pretty quick game, but it's a lot of fun.
Absolutely. All right, my number 22 is Viticulture Essential Edition. It's a worker placement game where you're trying to create your own vineyard? Winery?
Vineyard.
Winery? I don't know. You're building buildings to help you to that end. You're planting grapes in your field. You're letting them grow. You can sell off your field. You can buy back your field. You can age your grapes, or pick your grapes, age your wine, fill orders, all kinds of stuff. It's, I don't in general have a real super interest in wine. I'm not even that big a fan of wine. It's fine. And don't be mad. It's okay. But man, this game's cool. Your starting powers depends on which mama or which Loki you pick. It's Tom Hiddleston, guys. Look up Viticulture Pops. It's Tom Hiddleston. It's Loki. It is. It is. They know it. I don't know if they know it, but it is. Anyway, but really great. The Essential Edition, I didn't play whatever the original edition was, but this has the Grande worker, which lets you still put a worker, somewhere where someone else has put something, which is kind of nice. It's another game where I've heard so many people say, yeah, but you need the Tuscany expansion. We have the Tuscany expansion. We've played with it. It's good. But I don't think you need it.
No.
You don't need it. It's a great game on its own. Until you get bored of it, you don't need the Tuscany expansion. I recommend don't get the Tuscany expansion until you played it to the point where you're bored of it. Or if you played it and you're like, oh, I wish this was just a little bit heavier. It does add some different kind of weird mechanics to it. But it's a great game on its own. It can have a little too much luck. You had a bad game where you just weren't getting anything you needed. I know, but I think in general it's usually pretty even unless you just have real bad luck.
And if you're like us, you give fun little backstories to your mama and papas. And
we have them arguing.
Make a reason why they're married or having a fight. Or
It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Great game. That's my number 22, Viticulture Essential Edition.
Right. 22 for me is another game that we reviewed. And that is the Summoner Wars, 2nd edition. So, again, if you don't know about the game, go watch our video.
Yeah, do it. That's all I have to say about that. All right, my number 21 was very recently on your list. That is Codenames Pictures. Great party game. Man, I just remember yelling at my friend for thinking something was pointy or something.
Yes.
I don't remember. There was some kind of weird thing. Not really, not like angry yelling, but playful yelling. But it's just so fun because you're. It's not just about giving clues. It's like trying to figure out like what is going to make the other person, what's going to click with the other person, and it is a tough game in some ways, but it is just. I don't know. There's a lot of reasons to laugh during this game, especially like the worse people are doing, the funnier this game is. Really good. There's codenames everywhere. We have like the Disney and the Marvel one. Those are cool. I think those are. You need to play with people that are super big fans of that, whatever that theme is, because there's like a Harry Potter one out there too, I think. Otherwise, it doesn't work out. I think because of that, I generally will prefer just like either the Codenames Pictures or the regular Codenames, I guess. But I think I like the Codenames Pictures better just because the pictures are so bizarre and abstract that I think it's even trickier to get like a good clue out there that'll make sense to people. But it's a lot of fun. Yeah. So that is my 21 Codenames Pictures.
My number 21 is Love Letter Batman. I know there's a couple of different love letters out there. We have the Batman version, and I think we've had a lot of fun every time we played it. Again, our group of friends, we tend to add the voices. If we're Bane, we're talking like Bane. And it just whenever we play it, we have a lot of fun, and we laugh, and we're laughing while we play the game.
Absolutely. Great one. And you can, like you said, you can kind of pick your theme. It's probably out there. And it's such a small game, too.
Yeah.
It's like...
Small game, how many cards, very quick.
Yeah.
Like...
So that is our numbers 30 through 21.
Yep.
So we're getting down to our top 20. Hopefully, you guys share some of these in common with us. And if so, that means obviously you should come to us for all your gaming insights. You don't need anyone else. I'm kidding. But hopefully that you get a sense of some of the games that we've liked. That's really the main reason we do this kind of thing. If this video has been helpful to you or entertaining, please hit like and subscribe. Click the little bell icon so you can know when we put out a video again. Beyond that, in the meantime, we look forward to seeing you all around the table again at All Games New and Old. Bye. So if this game... yes, I screw up this part every time we do it. The little bell icon. Why can't I talk? Why can't I do that part? It's like the part I've done the most and I can't do it. That's what's bad.